Next thing in your kit that I'm pretty proud of is a really nice char cloth, Flint and Steel char cloth kit. Comes in a bag. I don't even have the bags at the time of filming this video, so yours comes in a really nice canvas bag. It's got this big 4-inch diameter tin. Take the lid off, and inside you've got a big fat chunky piece of cotton rope. Now, I doubt any of you, even though a lot of you have made char cloth before, I doubt any of you have made a piece of char rope like this before. Now, I'm gonna tell you where I got this. I got this at Hobby Lobby, okay? They carry a variety of different sizes of these, all the way up to 1 inch in diameter. So this is 100% cotton. It's in the furniture piping, furniture upholstery section at Hobby Lobby. And it makes the best char material I have ever used. And trust me, I've used them all. So in there comes this, and we're gonna char a piece of this right here. And comes a really nice piece of flint. This is all hand-sourced flint. And then comes the very unique, the never seen before whiskey striker. We've got a really nice piece of carbon steel shaped almost to fit exactly in your tin. We've got a little piece of whiskey barrel stave as the handle on this. You ever seen a wooden handled Flint and Steel striker? Me neither. And they're hand riveted on. It's got a really kind of unique shape to it, and it's the perfect little striker for Flint and Steel. I mean, it's a great little striker. You can get really decent little sparks off of this guy. Okay, you want to make sure the edge of your flint is really sharp. It's all about the sharpness of your flint, because when you hit the flint, it scrapes off a piece of this metal, which oxidizes and causes that spark. So it's important that the edge of your flint that you're striking has a really nice, it's kind of daylight, I don't know if you can see those sparks, but we're getting some really decent little sparks off of that ferrule, off of this striker. So the whiskey striker in this month's box, this is something you're going to be passing down to your kids. I mean, it's a lifetime tool that is going to serve you in the field whenever you show up, no matter where you go, whether it's a rendezvous or some reenacting or a survival meeting or camping with your buddies. Nobody is ever going to have a striker like this, because it's a one-off for APOCABOX subscribers this month. So let's char some of that big fat. Well, let me show you what it looks like first. This is what it looks like charred. I mean, look at that big fat. It looks like a big Amazonian caterpillar of char. So that's what it looks like. So let's char this. Now, traditionally, you're gonna poke a hole in your char container, right? Well, a lot of people don't realize that with like these candy tin type char containers, they don't really have a perfect seal anyway. So don't ruin your container by poking a hole in it. Just put the lid on it, and we're gonna pop it right down into the fire. Now with char material, with a char tin, you want this like right in the fire. Like you want the flames licking up against that thing. This is gonna take probably 2 to 5 minutes to char through that cotton, that big fat chunky cotton rope. But around the perimeter of that lid, we're gonna start to eventually see smoke kind of oozing out around that perimeter. And those are those kind of volatile gases popping off and burning off around that, from that rope inside that tin. So once it kind of stops smoking around the perimeter of that lid, we're gonna call it done, pull it off with a pair of tongs, or you could kind of smack it off with a stick too. But you can see it kind of burning. Don't worry about your tin getting all charred. That's the way it goes. And we're gonna wait for this to char, and then we'll pull it off and show you what it looks like right out of the gate. But while that's charring, I'm gonna go ahead and light up this other big chunk of char. I love bringing you guys stuff that I don't think you've ever seen before. I doubt anybody has charred this stuff before. If you have, don't blow it for me and be posting it on social media. Just make me feel good and say you haven't seen it before. Because I think that's probably, I was just walking in Hobby Lobby one day and I saw that and I immediately thought, dang, is that charable? Don't you ever have that feeling? We're just like walking through the grocery store and you're like, wait a minute, can I char that? I do. So here's how I like to light this up. I'm gonna take big chunk right here. I'm gonna find a real sharp spot on my piece of flint. I'm gonna hold it there with my thumb. I'm gonna kind of let that char cloth bump right up against that sharp spot, and I'm just gonna hit right down on it and try to, there it is. It may take a couple of sparks, but trust me, this stuff right here, I'm gonna come in real tight here. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got, I mean, look at that. That's the best Cuban cigar you ever had in your life right there. So I'm gonna take and I'm gonna pinch off the end of this huge monster piece of char rope before it gets too far. I'm gonna pinch it off. I'm gonna set my other piece down over here. We're gonna put it into our tinder bundle, our wet tinder bundle. That's how good this stuff is. We're gonna put it into our wet tinder bundle and blow it into flame. I mean, that stuff lights up like the 4th of July. See if we can get some wet tinder going here. Maybe. Been raining on it, and we still were able to get it with mega char Amazonian caterpillar rope. I'm gonna put this right down on my char tin. Finish off the top of it there. Once that burns down, we should be good to go on our char rope inside of our tin. It's been probably 5 minutes or so. So I'm gonna pop this tin off over here, wait for it to cool, obviously. So here we go. Make sure our tin is nice and cool. Again, no need to punch a hole in these things. They don't have a perfect seal anyway. Look at that, perfect piece of char rope. Let's pull out our flint and steel and test it and make sure it's working here. I'm finding a nice sharp spot on my flint. There we go. I'm gonna hold my thumb up next to that, put that big bushy end up next to that. There, one little tiny strike, and there it is. Wow, and it runs really fast too, but it just creates a huge ember very quickly. And as you saw, you know, you can light less than perfect tinder bundles on fire with it. That tinder bundle I had was wet to the touch, and I was still able to blow it into flame with one of these big fat embers. So consider, you only got a 6-cent piece of furniture piping in that kit, but consider that furniture piping for your future char cloth needs. Would be pretty cool. And you could cram some of that in one of your tinder tubes from this month's box. One of the little plastic waterproof tubes, you could cram a piece of that rope in there. You could put that rope in a wax bath. You could dip that in the melted paraffin and create like a waterproof mega cotton fire lighter that you could light with your ferro rod. All kinds of different uses for that rope. So there you have it. How to char this mega rope, how to use your whiskey fire striker, your whiskey flint and steel striker in your custom little flint and steel kit. So there's the flint and steel kit in the February 2017 APOCABOX. Remember, it's not if, but when.